Chapter 9.1. Today we are finishing with the regular present, and here is the last group that I want to introduce to the class. These verbs are very regular, but also they are very common in Spanish. We use them all the time. One is the verb ir, which is to go. Another is the verb venir, which is to come. Tener is to have. Ser is the verb to be in one of the forms, and the other one is oír, which is to listen. I mean, if you see the way we conjugate the present tense, they are very irregular. So, for example, here is voy, vas, va, I go, you go, he goes. Nosotros vamos, vosotros vais, ellos van. Okay? The verb venir is vengo, vienes, viene, venimos, venís, vienen. And the verb tener is tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, and tienen. The verb ser is soy, eres, es, somos, sois, son. And the verb oír is oigo, oyes, oye, oímos, oís, and oye. So you will see that there are many irregularities here, so you have to memorize these verbs. For example, the verb oír is quite irregular. It's oyes with y and oye. So, and also the verb ir, voy, vas, va. You see, the infinitive is ir, but when you conjugate the present, it's v-o-y. So they're quite irregular. So remember, these verbs have to be used when you talk about something that is happening right now or usually happens. So they are present tenses. And remember, if you want to say I go to New York, you have to say yo voy a Nueva York. If you want to say I come from New York, you have to say yo vengo de Nueva York. So just remember that. Now, the second topic for today is the reflexive verbs. Well, the reflexive basically means in English we use the words myself, yourself, himself. So you say I come myself, or I wash myself. So in this case, the way we do it in English is to use these words after the verb, and basically what indicates is that the person that is doing the action is also receiving the action. When I say I wash myself, I am the one doing the action, and I am also the person receiving the action. Now, in Spanish it's the same idea, but the way we build the verb is a little bit different. So the first thing you should know is that in Spanish, when a verb is reflexive, the infinitive is going to have se at the end. So most of the verbs, you have the reflexive form and the non-reflexive form. For example, lavar could be not reflexive. For example, if I wash my car, I am doing the action and the car is receiving the action. In this situation, the verb lavar, the verb to wash, is not reflexive because I'm doing the action and the car is receiving the action. But if I wash myself, in this case, the action is reflexive. I'm doing the action and I am receiving the action. So many times you have the verb lavar that is used like any other verb. You know that when you do the action to another person or you do the action to an object like the car, but if you do the action to yourself, then you will see that the verb ends with se and is reflexive. So every time that you see lavarse, ducharse, to take a shower, peinarse, to comb yourself, or despertarse, to wake up, to wake yourself up, right? In those cases, you will see that the verb is ending with se. Now, the way we conjugate the verb, once you want to say I wash myself, you wash yourself, he washes himself, and so on. The way we do this is a little bit different from English. But anyway, in this case, we have, for example, the verb lavar. In this situation, is not reflexive. I wash the kid's face. So in this case, I'm doing the action, and the children or the child is receiving the action. Now, but if I say I wash my face, in this case you will see that the verb is reflexive, and then we have to use this me form in front. Now, how you do that? Now, the way we conjugate the reflexive forms is, in English you say I wash myself, you wash yourself, right? But in Spanish, instead of doing that, we say yo, right? The subject is optional, and then you use me here, and this means myself. and then the verb in the present tense or in the future tense or in the past tense. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the tense, because you can say I wash myself now, or you can say I washed myself yesterday. So the tense is not really important. In this case, we are using the present tense because it's the tense that we have been working in Spanish 105. But what is important is that you place these pronouns, me, in front of the verb. So, yo me lavo, I wash myself. Tú te lavas, you wash yourself. He, él, ella, usted se lava. He, she, you wash themselves, and so on. So remember, it's me, te, se, nos, os, and se. Now, another thing is that when the sentence is negative, what we do in Spanish is to place no in front of the reflexive. So if this sentence is affirmative, you say yo me lavo. Yo me lavo means I wash myself. But if you say I don't wash myself, or I don't wake up myself, in this case you place no in front of the reflexive pronoun. So ella no se despierta temprano means she doesn't wake up early. Okay? Or yo no me ducho con agua fría, I do not take a shower with cold water. So in this case the no, it goes in front of me. Okay? That's the way we form the affirmative and the negative forms for reflexive verbs. Remember, reflexive means that the action that you do is coming back to you, or no, or the action that he does goes back to himself, or the action we do, it goes back to ourselves. So, and remember, if you want to make it negative, the only thing we do is to place no before the verb, as we have done so far, but before the pronoun, the reflexive pronoun. Now, the last thing for this chapter is this expression, like antes de or después de, which means before or after. So in those situations, you see we have a preposition here, and the rule in Spanish, one of the rules in Spanish is that when you place a verb after a preposition, in this case de, the verb has to be infinitive, you know, so the verb has to end with an R. For example, antes de comer, before eating, or después de trabajar, after working. Okay, so just remember this. Remember that when you use these expressions, and this means before something or after something, the verb that you are going to use after this preposition, after this expression, is going to be infinitive, which means ending with an R. So before visiting John, I went to the store. Okay, antes de visitar a Juan, fui a la tienda. O antes de venir, pasé por el banco. Before coming, I stopped by the bank. Después de trabajar, yo descanso. After working, I rest. O después de comer, ella camina. After eating, she walks. Okay, so just remember this expression means before doing something or after doing something, and then we have to use the infinitive here. In English, you say before eating or before. In Spanish is antes de, and then infinitive, or después de, and then infinitive. Okay. Now, and here we have these situations here. So we have I am. Remember, I am. The verb to be is yo soy. Okay. And if you say I am a student, remember that in Spanish this a is not cannot be used in this case, so it has to be yo soy estudiante. That's the right way to say something like this. Marta is, Marta es. Marta is not from Colombia will be Marta no es de Colombia. Now, if it's a question, is she from Argentina? Well, remember in Spanish, when you write this, it's going to be a question mark here in the front, and then the order could be different, but always stress the verb. ¿Es ella from Argentina? ¿Es ella de Argentina? And the negative will be no, she is from Venezuela. No, ella es de Venezuela. Okay? Luis comes. Luis viene. Is Luis coming today? ¿Viene Luis hoy? No, Luis doesn't come today. No, Luis no viene hoy. Are we coming? ¿Vamos nosotros? Now, the reflexive. I wash myself. remember, wash is lavar, so will be yo me lavo. No, I don't wash myself today. No, yo no me lavo hoy. Is he washing is he washing himself on Monday? ¿Se lava el lunes? I don't know. Yo no sé. Is Juan washing himself? ¿Se lava Juan? No. He's washing his dog. No. Él lava a su perro. No. And then the last group is antes de venir quiero comer. Well, remember, antes de venir means before coming, I want to eat. So you see in this case we have antes de venir. This verb has to be, infinitive because it's after a preposition. And then this new sentence is I want to eat. Okay? Después de visitar a Rosa, quiero descansar. After visiting Rose, I want to rest. Después de trabajar, after working, deseo ir al cine. After working, I wish or I want to go to the movies. Antes de estudiar, quiero hablar con el profesor. Before studying, I want to talk to the professor. Now, if you remember, how do you say, for example, I am? Yo soy. How do you say, I am sick? Remember, in this case, it's different. Yo estoy enfermo. How do you say, I have a car? Yo tengo un carro. How do you say, I have a red car? Yo tengo un carro rojo. How do you say to speak? Hablar. How do you say, I speak Spanish? Yo hablo español. How do you say to eat? Comer. How do you say I eat pizza? Yo como pizza. How do you say to live? Vivir. How do you say she doesn't live in New York? She doesn't live in New York. Ella no vive en Nueva York. How do you say to drink? Beber. How do you say he drinks a beer? Él bebe una cerveza. How do you say to study? Estudiar. How do you say I study Spanish? Yo estudio español. How do you say we read a book? Nosotros leemos un libro. How do you say is she reading a book? ¿Lee ella un libro? How do you say do I speak Spanish? Do I speak Spanish? ¿Hablo yo español? How do you say she? Ella. How do you say do I have a car? ¿Tengo yo un carro? How do you say what time is it? ¿Qué hora es? How do you say it is 3:30? Son las 3:30. How do you say hello in Spanish? Hola. How do you say I am sick? I am sick. Yo estoy enfermo. How do you say I am in Spain? I am in Spain. Location. Yo estoy en España. How do you say I prefer this drink? I prefer this drink. Yo prefiero esta bebida? How do you say good morning? Buenos días. How do you say good evening? Buenas tardes. How do you say see you later? Hasta luego or hasta la vista. How do you say goodbye? How do you say goodbye? Adiós.